at the top of the steps at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, like where the Rocky statue is, where Rocky legendarily ran up those stairs. I want to see the fighters run up the steps to enter the ring. Nuno, you like it or no?
This is so asinine. Like, why would we have a boxing match on the top of the steps next to a statue of a fictional character? This speaks volumes to just the disaster that Philly is, that we would do something like that there.
I want to make sure you are aware that Field of Dreams was also a movie.
Yes, but that's...
and that the members of the 1919 White Sox...
Hembo grew up playing baseball on on the farm.
Don't make me cry.
Did you end up were you boxing at the art museum?
It's a great movie.
We all grew up boxing in front of the art museum.
Okay, here we go. This is here comes a hot take. Rocky is a better movie than Field of Dreams. The original Rocky is a better movie than Field of Dreams, and that is another reason why. I will continue debating this, but since it's a top 5 list, let me give you my number one.
Number one.
Which I think would be unbelievable. They should play an NBA game at Rucker Park. Play an NBA game at Rucker Park, which is like, I know that's not where basketball was born, but it's where basketball has been raised. They should play an NBA game at Rucker Park. We'll come back and kick these around as we continue. Greeny on ESPN Radio.
Bart and Hahn.
If I'm Lamar Jackson, I am not asking for more money after I prove my season this year, because if I do that, I want 45. Matter of fact, I want 46.
Weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN Plus.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything it has at you, and to succeed, you need someone to guide you through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the tech advice to help you navigate whatever challenges you're up against and get you safely to where you want to be. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL and do more with modern devices and Windows 10 Pro.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
You're listening to Greeny on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. I hope all of you are well. These are trying times we're experiencing right now, and I want you to know that we at Baumhauer's are committed more than ever to providing a legendary dining experience to everyone. Everyone is important to us, and everyone is welcome. Please allow us to serve you in a way that makes you feel safe, appreciated, welcome, and special. Because we're all special in the eyes of the ones and the one that counts. God bless.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Alabama did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
This is Steve Moulton for Lee's Magic Tunnel. Do you live out of your car? Does your car look like you've been well lived in? Then take your vehicle to Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway. Any size of the vehicle, it doesn't matter, Lee's will get it clean. Offering many types of washes, but getting it clean inside and out. Ask for the manager special. That's at Lee's Magic Tunnel, located on the Parkway, and located online at leesmagictunnel.com for more information.
Our zone deal this week is truly an award winner. Metro Diner, serving up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest priced mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. Right now, you can get $50 worth of great Metro Diner food for half price, just $25 with our zone deal. Just log on 977ESPN.com to get yours.
Are raving about Free Guy.
Who are you?
Guy. It's the year's funniest film.
Medium coffee, cream, 2 sugars.
It's like losing my virginity, but in my mouth.
Forbes declares Free Guy has it all.
Woo!
Uproariously fun and delightfully charming.
I really want to kiss you.
What?
Is that weird?
The feel-good movie of the summer. Ryan Reynolds.
That's the first time I've ever driven a car before.
I really wish you'd mention that.
Yeah.
Free Guy. Rated PG-13. May be inappropriate for children under 13. Now playing only in theaters.
Need more Bomani Jones in your life? He asks the tough questions.
This is truth that will sound like shade, but I know you will understand me.
Beat 'em down!
Plus, we hear from the people.
But I stand by those comments.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to holler at you. Take it easy. Just so everybody knows he's still blind.
And he covers only the most important stories.
Clemson was just like, hey, we about to beat the brakes off y'all. Y'all ready? Okay.
Subscribe to The Right Time with Bomani Jones podcast wherever you get your favorite shows.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey.
There's a kinship between hoopers and rappers. From 30 for 30 Podcast and The Undefeated, this is the King of Crenshaw.
Hustle and motivate. I mean, if that ain't like the ethos of being an elite athlete, I don't know what is.
Nip was my superhero.
For us, it was all about how we could better our city.
Life is really a marathon.
Starting August 23rd, follow and listen on SiriusXM, Pandora, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe where...
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama.
Alabama!
Your home of the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports guard Eric Bledsoe is going back to the Clippers, the team that drafted him back in 2010. Memphis will trade Bledsoe to the Clippers for Patrick Beverley, Rajon Rondo, and Daniel Oturu. Beverley and Rondo are on expiring contracts. Former New York Jets head coach Joe Walton has died. Walton was also a tight end during a 7-year NFL playing career. Later, he started the football program at Robert Morris as the team's first head coach, a job he held for 20 years until 2013. Joe Walton was 85. The A's and White Sox open a big 4-game series tonight in Chicago. The White Sox with a huge lead in the AL Central. The A's just 2.5 behind the Astros in the West. Coverage of that one starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms, otherwise a cloudy sky. High temperatures will top out in the mid-80s for the afternoon. And for your Monday night, expect a few isolated showers to persist, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Football season is here.
45, nobody's gonna catch him, no shot, touchdown, 68 yards, no Sean Marino.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You want confetti?
Ty is Ty.
He ain't good looking, but he sure ain't shy. He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today. Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Overreaction Monday here in the Doghouse. I am your host, Thom Abraham. You know, we got to see all 5 of the first-round rookie quarterbacks over the weekend, and the general consensus is, if you listen to the talking heads, if you read the tweets from the fans, if you listen to the broadcasters that are doing the games, in these preseason games in their local markets, the general consensus is that all 5 of these guys are clearly headed for the Hall of Fame. Now, really, we need to make that 6th quarterback since Jordan Love finally got in a preseason game as well. And, of course, Tua Tagovailoa, who was the number 5 pick overall last year and who actually played in some NFL regular season games, is already considered a bust by some. He played in his first preseason game as well against Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears. So we'll get into all of that today and all of these guys, to be honest with you. But if you are looking for a mass coronation, you have tuned into the wrong show. Look, I don't lose my mind over guys making physical plays on broken runs or against broken coverages against guys who will be looking to hook on with the USFL in the spring. And against defenses that have done zero game planning for these games. Zero game planning for these games. They don't film on these guys. They don't care about these guys. They don't game plan to keep them in the pocket or give them reads that'll confuse them. Zero game planning goes into the first preseason game. Most of the preseason games. It's just a reality. It's the way it is. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer or a wet dish rag. I am your reality guy. The facts tell us that over the last 20 years, more than half of these guys have washed out before this class. There have been 60 first-rounders since 2000, not including these 5 guys. And I will remind you of some of those names. And I'll be honest with you, some of them come out and actually have really good rookie years. Vince Young was the rookie of the year. He got that on 2 broken plays, basically, that were spectacular, but they were highly athletic. It had nothing to do with his ability to play quarterback. They were 2 broken plays. One was when the guy from the Giants, UC Umanura, didn't tackle him. He thought the whistle was blown, and the play was over, and Vince took off down the sideline for a touchdown. And the other was a broken play against the Houston Texans in overtime. You remember that? I think it was overtime. When Vince Young goes down the field. But that's not the stuff that makes a quarterback. That's just some physical stuff. And once they figured out how to play him a little bit, he became a colossal bust. Rick Myra out of Notre Dame was the rookie of the year for the Seattle Seahawks. He's in a witness protection program. Now you never heard of him. You don't even know who Rick Myra is. So if form holds, and there's no reason to believe that it won't, if form holds, 2 or 3 of these guys are going to be colossal busts. I mean busts. How ironic was it while we were watching Trey Lance for the San Francisco 49ers? And they were, Greg Papa, the 49ers broadcaster and Bay Area honk, along with Tim Ryan, were absolutely losing their minds over Trey Lance because he threw a ball to a guy down the field that was open by 5 yards on a busted coverage. Oh, my God. Trey Lance. It's amazing. How ironic was it when they showed the sideline shot that Josh Rosen was standing there as the third stringer? Josh Rosen. You remember him, don't you? 10th overall pick. I think I may have made that up. I think he was the 10th overall pick by the Cardinals. Just like 3 years ago. Josh Rosen. Oh, never mind the fact that they've got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's 24-8 as a starter in real NFL games, who has a quarterback rating of 99, who led a team to the Super Bowl, for God's sakes. He was 10 minutes away from being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That don't mean it. That don't mean it. Trey Lance, new and shiny. I know I sound like I'm throwing a wet rag on these guys, but I'm not. I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to give you some perspective. Been around for a minute. You know what I mean? I mean, you just...
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Seen a thing or two. Coming up on the show today, Ryan O'Gara from Saturday Tradition is in to talk about the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC, trying to combat the SEC with some sort of alliance. It seems like they're talking about just those 56 teams that are in those conferences right now. It appears that they really don't have any use for the remaining 8 in the Little 12. The Forgotten 8. What should we call that conference? The Forgotten 8? Apparently, TCU and Baylor and Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, Kansas State, they had no juice, apparently. Apparently, they bring nothing to the table. I don't think that's true, to be honest with you. I think there is a value for the Pac-12 to annex Texas and Oklahoma State. Texas meaning the state of what's left. But apparently, these conferences maybe don't care much for them. I don't know. Of course, Alabama and Auburn did scrimmage over the weekend as well. Most of the teams in the SEC scrimmage, we'll get into what little we really know about that a little bit later on. Apparently, Steve Moulton did nothing over the weekend other than record coaches' comments from their scrimmages over the weekend. Hey, I'm glad he did it. I mean, it's there. I'm glad he did it. Maybe we'll use some of that. We'll see. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's valuable stuff to pick through and decide if there's anything there to use. I don't know how he finds time to record it all. I don't have time to listen to it all. But he finds time to record it all. So it's a good job by him. Then at the top of the 11, NFL insider Allan Bell Jr. is back with all the reactions and overreactions from the NFL's first weekend of preseason action. It's tough to decipher, to be honest with you, what means something and what doesn't mean something, but there are a few things that we can sift through. You know, the Titans look pretty polished, and the Falcons seem to be a mess right now. I mean, don't get overly concerned, Falcon fan. I'm just saying, you look at that and you say, man, did they seem to be a bit of a cluster. That was just, a knee-jerk reaction. The Browns sat 21 of their 22 starters against the Jags team that's trying to establish a new culture with a new coach and who was playing many of their starters. I told my sons, they all gathered to watch the game, and I told my sons, I said, look, understand something. There's no chance the Browns win this game. Zero chance that the Browns can win this football game. You're going against a team coached by Urban Meyer that he's got to prove to – he's got to get the fans excited there. Cleveland could care less about the guy. No starters. Andrew Billings was the only guy. Maybe Mack Wilson, who played in the game. He was a starter last year. Maybe he's still a starter. Maybe the Taki linebacker guy. Maybe. I told my kids, there's no chance. Just enjoy watching the game. Look at the young kids. There's no chance. And Cleveland went out totally polished and just smoothly hammered the Jags. I mean, Case Keenum started at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, and that dude looks like he could probably start for 10 or 12 teams in the league. I don't know if it's Kevin Stefanski and his offense. I don't know what it is. But they just smoothly went out and just, hammer those guys. Sacked Trevor Lawrence twice with guys that aren't even going to be on the team. A JOK kid out of Notre Dame, he looked really good. I don't know how he lasted to the second round. Well, I know how, because there was concerns about a medical issue that ended up not being an issue. Of course, Trevor Lawrence, he hit one nice pass downfield, and the Jags broadcasters lost their minds. I just love these local broadcasters. It's great. Phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. We also have your entire digital doghouse for you, where the show is on Twitter and Facebook at Thom Abraham Show, and on the text window, 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. Text window is a great way to communicate with the show for those of you that are hard to get on the air with us. The Zone is on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at 97.7 ESPN, online at 97.7ESPN.com. Get the app as well. The YouTube channel is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. You can watch there. If you're watching like I've been watching over here, I keep looking over to the side. Grizz, I don't know where he is. I keep looking over there, and I'm like, yeah, I know he's there somewhere. It's now disconcerting. It's one thing when you don't have video and you don't know what's going on on the other side of the glass. But now that we've got video, I can see Gilligan, and I'm like, where is he? Where's my little buddy? It's like I get a little anxiety or a little anxious. I'm looking at Billy Neighbors and Charles Barkley in a 1994 monitor. That's what we're looking at on Grizz's side of the glass. I don't know. He's over there in that little glass booth.
Do you know who I am?
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and pollen.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
You don't ever say that to me. Bullcrap.
There won't be any misinformation. There won't be any false statements. There won't be any hearsay.
How come there ain't no Puerto Ricans on Star Trek?
When you ask me those kind of questions, it really pisses me off.
Tom, can you get me off the hook? For old time's sake.
You ask a question every week that I don't know anything about.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
You do what everybody else in the media does, just create some and throw it on the wall and see what sticks.
I ain't gonna be buried. I want a taxidermist to stuff me. Say hello to my new
friend. Hey, Chris, what are you yelling in my ear, man?
Oh, don't worry about it. Just check out your Hangouts chat, and we'll get back to it later. But, man, I'm doing fine, and, yeah, I'm riding that high right now with the Braves, and, man, if they could just keep going, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, it is something. I get a little nervous. I get a little bit, anxiety when I don't see you across the way in the little glass room. I'm like, I got the little glass room here right there, and when you disappear like that, I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, where are you? You know what I mean?
I'm doing like 8 jobs, man. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm moving a mile a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we need 3 is over there. Is what we need over there. Grizz, I don't know if you remember this or not.
Yeah.
But our listeners who listen to the show, I don't expect you to listen to the show because you got other things you need to do. No, you can't.
And I don't listen anyway, remember?
No, you don't listen. You don't pay attention. You don't listen. But I got text message over the weekend. Props to the big dog. You called it. Braves are in first place by the end of the week.
Yeah, I got it right here. You'd like to listen to it?
Yeah, let's take a. What day was this? First of all,
this was the day before.
Cincinnati.
This was the day before
when
you went to go check on your heart.
This is the day before. Okay, so Tuesday. So this is Tuesday of last week. Okay, Tuesday of last week on the show. Take a listen. Now, Cincinnati comes in hot, but I think that the Braves have a better chance. I think the Braves, before the weekend, I think the Braves pick up another game, Grizz, on Philadelphia, all right? And then the Braves go to Washington, and Philadelphia has the Reds in. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say that when we do next Monday's, pennant race report.
Yeah.
Like on Monday now, I like to do kind of like just update everybody. Where are you? Where are we at, right? When we do next Monday's pennant race report, I think the Braves will be in first place. How about that?
I can agree with you on that.
Big John was listening.
I think I agree with you on that one.
You did agree with me. You weren't even, and you don't even remember it. I mean, it's like
you said it was at the beginning. You confused me.
It wasn't at
and
the
you say
beginning
it's
of
at
the
the
show?
intro. That was at the end.
Well, I don't know when
that
I
was
said
at the very end of the show.
When I make these predictions now, as we get
I'm
into
like
football
looking all
season,
over the place for every time you talked about the Braves, and yeah,
I can't believe you found it. I really can't believe you found it. That's a good job
last
by you.
minute.
I can't believe
honestly.
you found it. I told you to stop. Don't worry about it. I know I said it.
because I'm going to make it work.
And I called the shot. Big John, he remembered it, but you didn't even remember. When I first alerted you to it,
Maybe I
said,
need to
hey,
get
by
my
the way,
brain
Big
checked.
John says that I called the shot that the Braves would be in first. I know I said it.
Maybe I just didn't want to believe it.
But you were like, what the hell are you talking about?
I probably
When
just
did
didn't
you
want to
say
believe
that?
it. I probably just didn't want to believe it.
So here we go. The Braves are in first place by a game over the Phillies, 2.5 over the Mutts. And this is something that is very significant. And by the way, I say these things, and when I say these things, sometimes I say, mark it down. When I say mark it down, I actually mean mark it down. Because when I say these things, well, if they don't come true, we want to erase them. We don't want to alert anybody to it. They're not bad takes. But when somebody, who was it? Gert in Pittsburgh said, I tweeted over the weekend, I said the Browns JV team would win 9 games this year. Yeah. I said the Browns JV would win 9 games. Their backups looked so good, it was ridiculous. They're so smooth. And he retweeted it under bad takes, about cold takes, like at cold
funny,
takes or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, you can say the same thing about the Broncos this weekend, but
Yeah.
they made the Vikings look bad.
Vikings look discombobulated.
They look worse than the Falcons, and I heard you trashing the Falcons just a second ago. You don't think I listened to the show?
The Falcons looked a mess. I mean, they looked a mess. But let me just say this. I'll say this. Mark it down.
Mark it down.
Mark it down. The Braves will not look back now. The Braves now win the division going away. They will pull away and win the division 10-20 on 8/16 at 10:20 a.m. Central Time. The Big Dog says the Braves will not look back. And Grizz, here's the biggest reason why. Do you know that the Braves, in their 108 games this season, have a scoring differential of plus 72 runs? Plus 72 runs. Do you know what other team in the NL East has scored more runs than they've allowed?
It's the Marlins.
None.
Really?
None. The Marlins are -9.
Okay.
The Phillies are -18. The Mutts are -25, and the Nationals are -57.
Dang.
And the Braves are plus 72. The Braves' run differential is higher by 81 runs by the next closest team in the division, which is the Marlins, who are 51 and 67. And figure that out. That's almost like a statistical impossibility. And in fact, in the league, the Braves are, in the National League, the Braves are 5th total in run differential. And think about that. They've been a 500 team the entire season.
Yeah.
And they've got a run differential of plus 72. How the hell are you a 500 team? You beat the snot out of people, and you lose close games.
Because you've got situations where Drew Smiley gives up 3 to 4 runs every game. It's always like a 3 to 4, 5 to 4 game every single game where you're gonna have to put runs up. Yeah, but then they lose. Yeah,
they lose close games, and they win. When they win going away, and when they lose close games, which is a sign of a really good baseball team that just has lost a bunch of close games. Realistically, The Braves should be 6 or 7 games up in the division. They've blown that many close games.
And what was it this weekend? Dansby Swanson was like his 4th career game with 5 RBIs. It's like the most in a season or something like that. That's the most out of any Braves player.
Dansby's hitting like 265,
That's crazy.
270.
Albie's almost hit for the cycle, I believe, on Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hot. And the accusations, have been it's been crazy.
Acquisitions? You talking about or accusations?
Accusations.
What are they accusing them of? You're talking about acquisitions.
Yeah. Acquisitions that the Braves have gotten, like Soler, hot hitter. Duvall. I never understood why the Braves never even re-signed this man, because this man can hit in Truist Park. He has like one of the highest home run to at-bat ratios compared to, I think it's like Bryce Harper, and there's like 2 other players, Juan Soto. There's like a bunch of players that are naturally playing the Braves all the time, and in Truist Park, he has 18 home runs, I think dating back to like last year. So, I don't understand why you wouldn't bring a guy in that can hit the ball in your ballpark, and a guy who can play defense and not cause a distraction within your team. So, it's great that they're getting all these guys back. D'Arnaud, everybody. It's just crazy that it's just right at the right time. Everybody's starting to get healthier. Yanoa's going to come back. So they're like you said, they're moving in the right direction. And I don't think they're going to look back either.
Let's get a break. When we come back, Ryan O'Gara joins us from Saturday Tradition. He is what you want me to take this phone call now? Ryan has only got a short period of time. Brandon, hang there. We'll get to you. I got to get to Ryan. Let me get to Ryan. We went on about the baseball. Brandon, stay there. I'll get you in. I'm going to have plenty of room after Ryan O'Gara, but I got to get to Ryan O'Gara. He's up next right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
The start of the college football season less than 3 weeks away. Opening odds for the Heisman Trophy for 2021 have Oklahoma quarterback Spencer Rattler as the odds-on favorite, plus 550. Georgia quarterback JT Daniels, plus 700. And Alabama quarterback Bryce Young at plus 1,000. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has the best odds to be the 2021 NFL passing leader at plus 325, with Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott at plus 400 and Bucs QB Tom Brady at plus 600. The Braves with a 1-game lead in the NL East after a 6-5 win over the Nationals Sunday. They are at the Marlins starting tonight. Atlanta minus 155 money line. Marlins plus 135 over under 8.5.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well. not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
We love our pets, and when we need boarding or vet services, we want the best. That's why we chose Paradise Pet Resort and Spa. Everything our pets needed, all in one place. Boarding for both dogs and cats. Doggy daycare, grooming and spa services, web cameras, and top-notch vet care, too. It's a true Paradise Pet Resort for your furry friends, serving all of North Alabama. Find out everything you need to know and book services online at ParadisePetResortandSpa.com. Located in Madison, just off 565 at Wall Triana, behind Cracker Barrel.
Have you ever turned your back on God? Have you ever absolutely known the right thing to do and just turned around and walked away in disobedience? I know that I have. Aren't we thankful for our great and merciful God who loves us and forgives us and remembers our sin no more? I'm so thankful that his mercies are fresh every day. I need that, and I suspect you do too. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, and if you're looking for a church home, come see us. We're smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison, and check us out at cpcfamily.org.
This is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, more of the Thom Abraham Show on your home for Crimson Tide Sports 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Eli. Welcome back. Thom Abraham Show. Glad that you are with us here on an Overreaction Monday. A lot of NFL stuff to overreact to for sure. But how about the story that floated out last week after we got off the air on Friday that the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC are trying to create some kind of unholy alliance to combat the SEC's power now that the SEC is a 16-team conference whenever Texas and Oklahoma get around to joining the conference. And joining us to talk about it, a guy that does a tremendous job covering the Big Ten. He is from SaturdayTradition.com, Ryan O'Gara. Ryan on the, by the way, Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Ryan, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm glad to be back. Doing great.
So give us a little bit of background on this thing, because people are a little confused as to what does this mean? What kind of an alliance, and how is it going to, it seems cute to us in the SEC, but how is this going to compete with the SEC and combat anything the SEC is doing?
Yeah, well, the people in the SEC may not think that this is like a great response, but I actually kind of like it. I think it gives the Big Ten potentially some flexibility. There still have to be more details that emerge as to just what exactly it looks like, but essentially the motivation would be for the Big Ten, ACC, and Pac-12 to establish kind of a voting block to where they could vote together on key issues like college football playoff expansion and anything pertaining to the NCAA, just so that they don't feel like they're getting pushed around by the SEC and their interests are going to be represented, and potentially create some scheduling agreements with these conferences so that they can kind of get some of those premier matchups to kind of rival the SEC that they are going to get with Oklahoma and Texas. So maybe the Big Ten can have Ohio State play USC or Clemson in the ACC, or Penn State is playing against UCLA or Washington, and so I think it certainly makes sense without actually expanding the conference. Like, this seems to be like the next best thing for the Big Ten. So that's kind of where we're at now. Yeah,
it is interesting because they talk about it. What would it be? Big Ten and ACC. That's what, 28. And then the Pac-12, it made, 32, 33, 28, 36, right? I'm doing math now. So 36 schools. In your story, it says 41 athletic directors working together to vote together. What am I missing? My math doesn't work.
In the Athletics initial report, they had used that 41 number. Oh. So I think that's where we got it. So 14... I'd have to do some math
14
here,
and 14 is 28. 28 and 12 is 40. Okay, so maybe 41 is maybe that includes Notre Dame or something. I don't know. I don't know if there was a little.
Yeah, that's it. That's where. That's where.
Okay, so that's where they get it. They get it with Notre Dame. Is this a message that to the remaining 8, whatever you want to call them, the crumbling 8 that are left in the little 12? That nobody wants them, that they're useless, that they're basically can go join the American or join some other group of 5 conference, or is there still some possibility or interest that the Pac-12 would take the 4 of these teams and the Big Ten might expand and so on?
I personally don't see the allure of that for the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. I think those 8 teams are definitely going to get, for lack of a better term, screwed over here by the Texas and Oklahoma. And if you look at the TV numbers, there's been a lot of reports from college football media members about just how big of a discrepancy it is between Texas and Oklahoma, and then those other 8 teams in terms of what they bring to the table, TV ratings and whatnot. And really what this has kind of shown is how the SEC and the Big Ten are so far ahead of those 3 other Power 5 leagues in terms of what they bring to the table in terms of TV ratings. Andy Staples on The Athletic had a great column this morning about, the SEC and the Big Ten are just so far ahead in terms of these 4 million viewer games. The Pac-12 just so rarely gets them, and part of that is probably their time slot and whatnot. But really, those 2, Big Ten and the SEC, have such established fan bases and such established brands that really they're in the driver's seat here. So I kind of view this whole alliance as like the Pac-12 saying, hey, don't poach USC, Oregon, UCLA, Washington, et cetera, from us. We can work together while still keeping our conferences intact the way they are. We can work together to create these enticing matchups so that when the Big Ten's TV deal comes up in the next 2 years, you have something to present to them that's going to rival the SEC, where you're going to get Ohio State versus USC, every other year or whatever they end up working out. So we can still create these great matchups without you taking our conference and dismantling our conference, like the SEC did with the Big 12.
Yeah, Ryan O'Gara with us. That's where I was going to go. It seems like this is a desperation play on the part of the Pac-12 because it doesn't seem like the Big Ten needs this. Usually you don't look behind, you look forward. And yes, there may be 1 or 2 attractive, getting into L.A. would be a thing. There may be 1 or 2 attractive teams out there, but it almost seems like a desperation move by those guys wanting to kind of leech on to the Big Ten and to a lesser extent the ACC. The ACC has the alliance with Notre Dame, where Notre Dame plays 5 ACC games every year, even though not a part of the conference. But if you're to 10, why do you need this?
Well, I think it also sort of prevents, because the Big Ten and the ACC and Pac-12 are playing each other. Guess who's not playing them? The SEC. So really, you're going to force the SEC then to go up to at least 9 conference games, which they probably were going to do anyways, but maybe even 10, because really, who else are they going to play in the non-conference? They're going to get the leftovers from the Big 12, I guess. They're going to get group of 5 schools, the AAC maybe. But really, if they form this alliance and those 3 conferences are spoken for, you're not going to get Clemson against Georgia anymore. You're not going to get, USC playing Alabama or whatever. So it's really going to kind of handicap the SEC in their non-conference scheduling if they kind of prohibit those 3 conferences from scheduling with the SEC.
Tell us anything or the most significant thing that might have come out of weekend scrimmages in the Big Ten, especially with Ohio State, which seems to be separated from the rest of that conference right now.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in Iowa's reading the reports from there. Apparently, the offense looked pretty good, and Iowa is supposed to have one of the best defenses in the country. They led the country in yards per play allowed last year. Expected to be right up there again, and their offense really held them back. So the fact that in their first open scrimmage here that their offense looked apparently pretty good is a great sign, because I really think they have a good shot in the West. I just think Wisconsin and Iowa are so far ahead of those other teams in that side, and I really think this is the year to get Ohio State with just the lack of stability right now at quarterback. That could definitely change moving forward. But really, these next couple of years, Ohio State is going to be set at quarterback, and this might be that 1 year to get them. So I really think if Iowa and Wisconsin, with those two good defenses, if they can figure out how to play some offense and keep up with Ohio State, I really think this might be the year that they can get them. But we're just waiting for more developments here with Ohio State and what they're going to end up doing at quarterback, and kind of checking in on Wisconsin, making sure they're staying healthy, and Graham Mertz looks like he did at the beginning of the season versus the end of the season, and that sort of thing. But it's definitely starting to take shape here.
It's a week from this upcoming Saturday that Ohio State will open up at Minnesota. It seems like C.J. Stroud is the guy there. What year is Stroud? What kind of eligibility does he have left?
He's only a redshirt freshman. So all four of their quarterbacks have 4 years of eligibility left, which is what really makes that situation so interesting. Usually you have like a guy or two with maybe another year, and then after that it's going to open up again. So really this competition is so fascinating because the winner is going to have 4 years left, and the loser could potentially be stuck there for 4 years. So that's why I think within the next year you're going to probably see at least two of those guys transfer. It probably won't be Quinn Ewers, either. It's probably going to be two of the three of Jack Miller, C.J. Stroud, and Kyle McCord. So the balancing act is going to be fascinating to see how Ryan Day is able to kind of keep those guys for as long as possible, because it's in his best interest. He wants the depth and whatnot, So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of manage that if they end up playing a couple quarterbacks at the same time. And as we've seen in the past, that's a tough thing to pull off. So
yeah. Well, and you wonder. You mentioned the 12th grader, Quinn Ewers, and I'm wondering, is he really in this mix? I mean, is there any reason for him to be in this mix? This was a money grab for him to get NIL money, but is there any thought that kid takes any snaps this year?
I couldn't imagine that he will this year. Maybe towards the later part of the year. He's just getting there now. So, maybe towards the latter part of the season, he's more in the mix. But, I would have to think that he's very far behind those other three guys at the moment. And then, but I certainly think he's going to be involved. Whether it's this year, I don't know. But moving forward, you got the number one recruit in the country. He's going to make his presence felt. He's rated that way for a reason. So, Ohio State's going to want to keep him around. That's one guy that can't lose. So, especially with Steve Sarkisian going to Texas, that's probably never going to go away. If he's able to help Texas have the same sort of offense that Alabama does, and that's definitely going to be an attractive transfer option for him at some point down the road if things don't work out.
Yeah, certainly into the SEC as well, when he can look at that and say, well, I can go play in the SEC. I wonder what kind of NLI money is available to me there if I made that move. Always good stuff with Ryan O'Gara from Saturday Tradition. Ryan, appreciate you so much. Great work, and we'll look forward to keeping the conversation going.
Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you. Jim Harbaugh was also asked, what does a successful year look like for them this year? And I don't know how they can not think that it's anything less than winning the Big Ten. How can any year be considered success? Michigan's not even ranked in the coaches poll. Wait, did I say that right? Michigan is not even ranked in the coaches poll. They got 30 votes. They're not ranked in the coaches poll. So what are their expectations? And, Harbaugh said, quote, I got to kind of feed on the pressure. As a matter of fact, it's not my first time being in a pressure situation. It's life-giving energy. I kind of thrive in that environment. Close quote. What are you talking about? So do you work to be unranked so that you can put yourself in a pressure cooker? What in the hell are you talking about? You were trying to recruit the SEC. You were trying to recruit in the Dirty South. By now you were supposed to be, going for your third straight Big Ten championship. Can't even win the division. I don't understand. You were taking your team to Europe and stuff. And now he's 0-5 against Ohio State. The program continues to slip. And now they're not even ranked in the top 25, and he says it's life-giving energy. Well, if it's life-giving energy, don't you work towards something that gives you life-giving? Wouldn't it be life-giving energy to be ranked in the top 5 in the country? Wouldn't it be life-giving energy to know that you have an opportunity to play for the national championship and be in the college football playoff? Isn't that life-giving energy? I would think that's life-giving energy. Wolverine Dan. But is Brandon still there? No? Okay. Brandon, come back. Wolverine Dan is up. Life-giving energy, Wolverine Dan. Your coach says that being not ranked in the top 25 is life-giving energy, and it gets him fired up. Aren't you glad your coach is fired up that you're not in the top 25?
All right, first off, Harbaugh's like that guy that comes into a party and then sucks the life out of it. You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm talking about, that guy.
I know that guy.
That's what he is. And you're sucking the life out of me, dude. I'm retired now. I'm supposed to live a long life, but if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to shorten my life. I tell you, expectation. It's called a Mayflower Movie Company. Load them up. Get the hell out of there.
It's only facts. I'm only reporting the facts.
I know. Listen, he started his coaching career in Michigan. I believe it was in 2015 or 16. He was ranked 35. So he improved by 2 spots? What's all this about?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so we know how you feel about that. I say we just cut our losses before it even starts. Go to the Indiana and get that coach. I like that guy. Get him. Now, with that said, or even try to persuade a Wisconsin coach, because I like him too. Young guy.
What about the Minnesota coach? PJ Fleck, or is he the next?
Yeah, I like him. Yeah. That's what we ought to do. Now, let's get to the Lions over the weekend. All right, so first off, you got a guy that's a free agent running back, Reynolds, comes in after one day of practice and runs the ball like that. And that's all we got. And then a wide receiver and Kennedy, it'd be a third stringer in any other team, and that guy did a good job. So I'm really confused here. Goff played a decent game. His passes were sharp. But, dude, if he gets hurt, we're screwed. Because Boyle is nothing, man, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know what I'm seeing here. I'm kind of confused. And with 8 seconds left, don't call a timeout. At least try to move the ball down the field, because these are experiences that these players need. When they're playing the game.
Yeah.
Game like. I'm getting so tongue-tied. I'm so upset. Tom, I'm going to have a heart attack here, for crying out loud.
Don't have a heart attack, for God's sake.
No problem, just having a heart attack.
Look, don't get overly excited about. I knew when they left time on the clock that the Bills were going to go down and kick a field goal and win that game. I mean, there was no doubt. But don't get overly excited about this stuff. This is all about what you need to watch when you watch these preseason games is watch the matchups individually. Your receivers against DBs, your left tackle against the rush end. Look at that stuff. Don't get too carried away. Make sure the quarterback is throwing the ball accurately. Kids drop the ball. Everything else, it changes the numbers. But don't get too excited about what's going on in terms of a result of the game, because that's not what they don't game plan these games. You know what I mean? They don't come up with a plan. They're not showing you anything. The stuff they're working on as far as their offense and stuff, they're not going to show any of that in these games. So don't get too excited.
Okay, all right. Well, actually, as you can tell, I'm getting excited.
You are.
The first game of the year, for crying out loud. Yeah. But I'm with you on Harbaugh 100%. I mean, I guess I was being a fool. I thought this was the answer to our problems with our university, but I guess they only.
So did everybody. Everybody felt like that,
The last coach that came out of Ann Arbor that was any decent was Lloyd Carr.
And he couldn't beat Ohio State, right?
I mean, hey, speaking of Ohio State, I went to this whistle stop, right? I got my Michigan chairs, and this girl walks up to me with these two of the dudes, right? And she says, I need to take a leak. And I looked at her and said, well, what the hell? What am I, like the urinal guard or something? I said, there's some porta-johns over there. And she says, oh, I'm from Ohio State. She wanted to leak on my chair.
Oh,
That's what
wow.
She was saying. She got me hot, Tom. You know what I told her? I says, first off, bring Cooper back. Second off, you guys suck, and I could care less about you. Every time I flush from Detroit, it goes down to Columbus.
I love that rivalry.
Right,
love that rivalry. It's good stuff.
All right,
man.
All right.
You got to win some, though, or it's.
I'm getting off the bridge. I'm going to be okay.
All right. We'll talk you down.
All
right.
See you.
Take his belt. Take his shoelaces. If I'm a Michigan fan, it's not my first time being in a pressure situation. It's life-giving energy. I kind of thrive in that environment. Oh, okay. Okay, glad that you're thriving in that environment. The hell wants to be in that environment? All right, let's get a break. We will come back with a final segment of this hour next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Never mind fall and football being in the air. We want to taste it.
And never mind not being able to tailgate at the game. Let's create the ultimate barbecue experience in your own backyard.
You said it, Foster Brooks, and that's where Brooks & Collier comes in. Big selection of outdoor furniture.
And a big selection of grills and smokers like Traeger, Big Green Egg, Blaze, even DCS, and more.
This is the good stuff.
And Paul, we definitely got the accessories. And remember, we deliver. Visit us at 813 Meridian Street and shop online at brooksandcollier.com.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked the reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
Thom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
With the help of Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond, I get everyone's morning started with a smile. It has a delicious and hearty combination of the Cheerios you love, whole grain oats, and sliced almonds for an extra crunchy crunch. That's how I set the rhythm for a great day. Look for Cheerios Oat Crunch Almond in your local grocery store.
In 2 years, you can have a career that makes sense for you. Skill up and earn a living working with your hands, or work on the front line of computer information systems and cybersecurity. Get a degree that lets your healing heart take care of people. Help design and manufacture the most advanced cars, machinery, or even aerospace components. In just 2 years, great careers are within your reach at Drake State Community and Technical College. Visit drakestate.edu to apply.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms, otherwise a cloudy sky. High temperatures will top out in the mid-80s for the afternoon. And for your Monday night, expect a few isolated showers to persist, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
When we say local, we mean local, not Birmingham.
Loser.
We are the only sports talk station in Huntsville. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got a magical glow.
Take calls now? You're telling me you want me to take calls? You're going to play the greatest piece of music ever recorded in the history of mankind, and then you want me to take a call? I'm going to put the guitar behind my head and just play this. We'll like make Ricky Medlock. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. Final segment of this hour brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. Whether it's Alabama, whether it's Tennessee, or even in Florida, you got property, you need a mortgage, you're making a purchase, you need North Alabama Mortgage. Brian Hammaker and his team standing by ready to take care of you guys at NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more about my buddy Brian Hammaker and his team. All right, let's get Brandon in here. Waited patiently. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Listening to the show, you got a lot of energy today. Tom's fired up from the weekend, I can tell.
Yeah, a lot of. That's all. Listen, what I make up in lack of talent, I bring energy to the table. That's my thing, is energy. I try to bring energy because I'm fired up about everything.
Well, sometimes on Mondays you really bring it. I can tell you've had probably a good weekend of fishing. Juices are flowing, so.
Yeah, I had some time on the water. Yeah, I had some Saturday morning time on the water. Some me time on Saturday morning on the water.
Well, you asked what the Big 12 was what are they going to call themselves?
Yeah.
And after all the teams get through jumping ship, they're probably going to be called the Seven Dwarfs because that's basically what they're going to amount to.
You think there's going to be 7, not 8? Right now there's 8. Who's leaving them? Who's next leaving them?
I'm looking to say Iowa and Iowa State would go. I think Kansas and Chris Kleiman stay because he's a really good coach. And I think if he stays, that he can run away with that division. I think he would be top 2 coaches in that division if he stays. I think he's destined for a bigger job than what he's got. I think he could do better than Harbaugh's doing right now. Guy's just a winner.
Maybe. I would call them the Forgotten 8. That'd be a good name for the conference, the Forgotten 8, and see how that works out. Look, Baylor plays decent football. TCU and Gary Patterson play decent football. Texas Tech does. Nobody knows who Texas Tech is. Not nice uniforms. Oklahoma State's got all kinds of money. They got Jeff Van Gundy. They have been, ranked. No, Jeff Van Gundy. They got the Mike Gundy. Who the hell is Jeff Van Gundy with Oklahoma State? They got Mike Gundy. Come on, Chad, you got to bail me out on that. Mike Gundy. They don't have no Van Gundys. They don't have Stan Van Gundy. They don't have Jeff Van Gundy.
I was behind you, that's for sure. I was just getting to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you were getting ready to play that.
Are you kidding me?
They got Mike Gundy. They've won a lot of games. They've been ranked highly at times. I think those 4 teams are attractive for the Pac-12. I don't understand why the Pac-12 would not want to annex Texas, get into the state of Texas. I would put those 4 teams with Utah and Colorado and Arizona State and Arizona and create a Pac-12 East. It would be the Pac-16 East. You'd have a Pac-16 East and a Pac-16 West. And the West would be the traditional teams up and down the coast. I think that would be an attractive 16-team conference out there.
Well, I don't know if having Mike Gundy is really any better than having Stan Van Gundy.
Or Jeff Van Gundy. Any of them. But no, Mike Gundy's.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. At least he's got hair.
What has he ever won, though?
Well, I mean, they went out. It's Oklahoma State. Who at Oklahoma State ever wins anything? All you got to do is go there and win games. I mean, he wins 8 or 9 games a year, and they throw him a parade. They give him a big contract.
Well, he wins the most contest. I mean, I give him that.
Yeah. All right. They're playing your music. You know what that means. Gotta get out of here.
Go.
Time to go. 1 AD in the SEC told Matt Hayes about this alliance with the ACC, Big Ten, and Pac-12. We'll just play each other, and they can play each other, and we'll see who wins and loses there. Yeah, no, we don't need that. We don't need 9. We don't need to have 4 cupcake games because you can't get access to those other leagues. Those other leagues need to play SEC teams, though. Let's be honest. All right, coming up top of the hour, Allan Bell Jr. is back. Our NFL insider. Overreactions from the weekend on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com. Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner. In today's real estate market, you need the right professionals to help make sure your home purchase is smooth and hassle-free. That's where Jacob Title comes in. Stan McDonald and the staff at Jacob Title cater to the realtor and clients who are looking for a top-flight closing experience. Jacob Title uses the latest and best technologies to ensure a safe and secure exchange of funds, and they pride themselves on great communication well before and during the real estate closing process. Jacob Title in Huntsville and Madison, and online at jacobtitle.com.
Sitting here with Ann Adams of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate. Is it a good time to sell your home, Ann?
Yes, it is. We have people relocating from all over the country.
Why should we choose Rise Real Estate?
Well, we've been selling real estate in North Alabama for 36 years and have sold more real estate than any other real estate company, period.
Do you help your customers through the entire process?
Yes, our agents are with you during the whole process from start to finish, from beginning to end.
In your relocation services, you have a whole team.
Yes, we have a dedicated relocation department helping customers move seamlessly into the area.
Ann Adams has been writing contracts for the last 36 years. She has the experience to help you list and sell your home, downsize your home, or help pick the perfect spot north of Alabama for you to build a future.
Call Ann Adams at 256-337-2625 or on the web at www.bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner of University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Madison Academy football. And a quick shout out to my son, Avery Seaton, number 19. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including our all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and the sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com to view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see you in the Kia. Go Mustangs!
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports guard Eric Bledsoe is going back to the Clippers, the team that drafted him back in 2010. Memphis will trade Bledsoe to the Clippers for Patrick Beverley, Rajon Rondo, and Daniel Oturu. Beverley and Rondo are on expiring contracts. Former New York Jets head coach Joe Walton has died. Walton was also a tight end during a 7-year NFL playing career. Later, he started the football program at Robert Morris as the team's first head coach, a job he held for 20 years until 2013. Joe Walton was 85. The A's and White Sox open a big 4-game series tonight in Chicago. The White Sox with a huge lead in the AL Central. The A's just 2.5 behind the Astros in the West. Coverage of that one starts at 8 Eastern on ESPN TV.
Football season is here.
Arias is going to take it to the house. 80 yards. Touchdown, Alabama.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. Segment brought to you by TOC Sports. For all your injury needs, it's TOC Sports. Doesn't even have to be a sports injury. Any kind of an injury, they can take care of you at TOC Sports, including dislocated expectations. Maybe not dislocated expectations, but it is an overreaction Monday, as the first full weekend of NFL preseason action is in the books, and everybody is gaga over their quarterbacks. All these first-round quarterbacks, including some last year's first-round quarterbacks. Joining us now, NFL insider Allan Bell Jr. is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. AB, welcome back. How are you?
Big dog, doing fantastic, buddy. How you doing?
It's amazing. I watched a lot of these preseason games. If I didn't see it live, I saw it on tape. I love the local broadcasters, especially of the teams that are featuring first-round quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence and the rest of these guys, Trey Lance. I love watching and listening to them as they lose their ever-loving mind over, an 18-yard pass downfield against a third-string or fourth-string cornerback that's looking for a job in the USFL in the spring. It blows my mind.
I know. I love it, too. It's so funny because you're right. It's just a simple pass or a simple rollout. Oh, my God, this gets the stage here, right?
Yeah.
It's so funny. The local broadcast, because we don't get it in the NFL, you know what I mean? Once the season starts, that's what you got, So when you get them like this in the preseason, the homerism on some of them are it's just outstanding.
Well, the reality is, and I'm going to run some of these names down in the next segment, but the reality is there's been 65 quarterbacks picked in the first round since 2000. More than half of them are flat-out busts. I mean, flat-out busts. And as I was watching Trey Lance and I was watching Greg Papa and Tim Ryan lose their ever-loving minds over Lance throwing one decent ball downfield, forgetting the fact that for the rest of the day he was 3 of 13 for 40 yards. When I was watching that, I was struck by the fact that when they showed the sidelines, there was Josh Rosen, who 3 years ago was the 10th pick in the first round of the draft, and he's trying to hang on as a third-rounder in San Francisco. It's amazing, the shiny new thing, and the reality is 2 or 3 of these quarterbacks, these 5 that were drafted this year, 2 or 3 of these guys are going to be Josh Rosen in 2 years. It's just a fact.
Oh, yeah. It's absolutely a fact. And the crazy thing is Josh Rosen, he's going to be out of the league here soon. He's on his, 4th, 5th team already. It's amazing how fast that this thing is, just unraveled for him. But no, you're right. And, quarterbacks, football is the ultimate team sport, right? So, you could be a pretty good quarterback on a bad team, and your career could, down spiral. Or, you could get moved, go to a good team, and look a lot better. Yeah, I think Ryan Tannehill, has a little bit of that, although, he was pretty good, in Miami. But, you're right. It's so difficult, to make it and to project who are going to be the handful of guys that are going to be actual stars. Trey Lance is certainly going to have the benefit of playing for the 49ers. With a team that has an incredible defense, really good head coach, really good offense. That's going to help him. Jordan Love, whenever he steps in Green Bay, he'll have similar to that. Matt Jones, with the Patriots, I thought he looked pretty good. I like the kid. But yeah, it helps when your team's pretty good and you have a coach who knows what you're doing. Because there's going to be some challenges. Justin Fields, he's got a great defense in Chicago, but it could be tough here for a little while, man, and he could have a new head coach next year, too.
In the Lance situation, I look at him, and again, they go up and down like crazy. I mean, Baker Mayfield set the touchdown record for rookies his rookie year. His second year, he was considered completely a bust, and they needed to draft a quarterback again. His third year, he led his team to 11 wins and a playoff victory, and he's, after the fourth or fifth week of the season, was the highest-rated quarterback in the entire NFL. And now this year, with all the weapons that they have, and the first time he's had the second time in a row the same coordinator and the same offense, I think Baker Mayfield's going to be better, than he's probably going to be a top 6 or 7 quarterback in the entire NFL this year. He has that potential, but it's nuts how quickly we make decisions. He's great. He sucks. He's great. Now we got to pay him. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And I kind of go back to what would have happened with Teddy Bridgewater in Minnesota if he never, broke his leg. Right? Like, it's crazy to see kind of what his career was. I mean, he was looking, tremendous. But yeah, I mean, look at Peyton Manning. I think Peyton Manning still holds the NFL quarterback rookie record for interception.
Yep.
And not that anybody was screaming that the guy sucks, but the Colts weren't very good. You know what I mean? Like, it took time to build, a team around him and, for him to come into his own. So I'm with you. And Baker Mayfield, man, like, you're 100% spot on there. I love the kid, everything about him. And the Browns have done a great job of building not only offense around him, but one of the best defenses in the NFL as well, plus one of the best running backs in the NFL with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt right behind him. I mean, that's the key. Just help your guy out as much as you can and see what he can do with it. And Baker has no problem running with it. He's going to have a tremendous year.
I think by the end of the year, he'll be regarded higher than Lamar Jackson. That's what I think. I mean, that sounds crazy. The guy was an MVP and everything else, and it does a lot with his legs. But I think at the end of the year, you'll look at it and you'll say, I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Lamar Jackson. But we'll see how that shows up. But going back to these guys, the San Francisco one is particularly interesting because Jimmy Garoppolo is 24-8 as a starter. He has a 99 quarterback rating in his career. He took a team to the Super Bowl, was 10 minutes away from being a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo's only problem is he can't stay healthy. If Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, I don't know how in the hell you're losing your mind over the kid from North Dakota State. You know what I mean? If you have a healthy Jimmy Garoppolo, other than the fact that you're used to seeing Jimmy Garoppolo and you want the shiny new thing now.
Yeah, see, that is the most fascinating to me because you're right. I mean, this guy legitimately probably should have won that Super Bowl.
Right.
And I mean, he I know that his stats aren't the greatest per se in terms of in-game yardage, etc. But all the guy has done is win. I mean, that's it. So, one, it goes to show what we were just talking about in terms of how good the 49ers of a team are. But two, what do you do now? Because if you're the 49ers and you're saying, okay, we do believe in Trey Lance and we don't think that there's going to be, not even a drop-off, but the kid's actually going to be better, well, do you kind of roll the dice? You put Garoppolo, as your starter, get a couple games in, the kid, he shines, and then you try to trade him, right, for a ransom while you've got, the future, coming in. So I'm fascinated to watch how San Francisco handles this situation because it's not the same as Chicago. Chicago, they're just waiting for Justin Fields, to be ready to go. It might be week 1, it might be week 4, who knows. But in San Francisco, yeah, you got some decisions to make, and not only for week 1, but every single week. And then what do you do with Jimmy G?
Yeah, well, that's going to be the key because be careful how quickly you pull the trigger on that guy. You pull the trigger too quickly on that guy, and then all of a sudden, you've got a bigger problem on your hands, and it takes 10 years to find another one. Allan Bell Jr. with us here. I think the other thing that is lost on people when they're going nuts over seeing what these guys do, Justin Fields. He's out there. He does some things. Certainly, his first couple of drives, he looked like dog meat, and then the deeper and the deeper that the Dolphins went into their depth on defense, he started looking better and better. He makes a broken play with an 8-yard run for a touchdown. He hits a wide-open guy in a blown coverage when the DB fell down on the touchdown to Jesse James. And everybody is going nuts over that. The two things I think, it's not only about personnel that they're facing. The other thing is there's no film on these guys, and there's zero game planning. Zero game planning. How do you do against a defense that's actually game planned for you? But people want to make decisions based on what they're seeing in these games, what these quarterbacks do against defenses that haven't even prepared for that quarterback or game planned for him.
Yeah, you're right. And I think that you brought up the biggest point is that a lot of these, coaches, they're not even running a game simulation, right? Like, take Mike Vrabel, with the Titans going up against the Falcons. Like, yeah, the Titans won that game, but that speaks nothing to anything. But you look at his defense, like he's legitimately, spending the first two series trying to put his front seven in tough situations just to see what they do, just to see who can move around, right? So, yeah, you can't make decisions off of these games. And I'll say this. After the Bears game, Justin Fields was asked, how was the speed of the game? And he said, quite honestly, I thought it was kind of slow. And I laughed for two reasons. One, it is going to look slow because all you do is practice against the Bears, number one defense. So that does help you. It's kind of like being a quarterback in Alabama, right? Like your defense in practice is tougher than any defense that you're going to see, throughout the season. But number two, like you said, buddy, you were going against third-string guys that are going to be, working at Target here in a couple weeks. And, no offense to anybody on that, but just, there's a difference between week one in the preseason and week one in the NFL. That speed gets ratcheted up quickly when actual, starters are out there playing.
Yeah, there's no, and when they're preparing for you, keep it in mind when they're actually preparing for you, and they're doing putting together a game plan for you, and sometimes it might even take a year or two. I mean, look, and I'm going to say this about.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it takes a little while, and I'm going to say this about Justin Fields, I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just going to throw this out there, okay? Vince Young. I'm just going to say Vince Young. Okay, Vince Young was a rookie of the year. Vince Young made broken plays and did some spectacular things. A quarterback that has physical abilities like that can make some great plays on breakdowns. But as there's more development and as there is more film on a guy and as the defenses adjust to the guy's particular skill set, what can you do then, moving down the road? Rick Myra was another one that was, rookie of the year way back, but you don't even remember Rick Myra, but he was the rookie of the year out of Notre Dame for the Seattle Seahawks and then, disappeared off of the face of the earth. We see that happen sometimes as well, and what these guys can do with their God-given physical abilities versus what they're doing, I need to see what they can do as the defenses adjust to them. And I need to see more than hitting a guy wide open against a third-string DB that fell down, or a broken play when a guy can skitter into the end zone from 8 yards away on a broken play. I mean, that's a broken play. You don't base what a guy's going to do based on a broken play.
No, you don't. And it goes to, to speak to how good, a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes is, right? So, he can move. Obviously, we see him kind of move out of the pocket, but kind of create his own pocket with a little bit more time. But it's not like he's taking off running all the time. Like, the guy's looking to make plays with his arm, not with his legs. So it just goes to show that, you can adjust on these, kind of broken plays, but you got to be consistent, man, and you got to win with your arm. It's not going to happen with your legs, and who could do it? And like you said, the biggest part. It's one thing in year one when nobody has much tape on you. Year two, that's when things start clamping down. You were talking about Baker Mayfield, earlier. I mean, it happens to a lot of quarterbacks because now that these D coordinators and other assistant coaches who spend 18 hours a day at work, do nothing but look at you over and over and over and over again. Yeah, they start to find these tendencies out.
Yeah, and you can look for their skill set. You can look and see, okay, Trevor Lawrence was able to do this. He was getting swarmed under by a defense that didn't, again, had guys, none of them were starters, that were putting pressure on him, sacked them a few times. You see that in some of the other games, Zach Wilson, and so on. So it'll be hard to develop that. Watching the Titans and the Falcons, I expected the Titans to be pretty smooth. They're a veteran-run organization. It's fourth year of the Mike Vrabel experiment, and so that staff is pretty much intact. Other than the fact that they had to replace their coordinators, but still, when the head man is there, you can do it. I was a little bit startled by how discombobulated the Falcons looked. I thought that they, first game under Arthur Smith as the head man on the sideline, I thought they looked dazed and confused a little bit. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, kind of, and it's going to happen, when it's your first time as being the guy, right? Like, I think that, for a lot of, I think for these new head coaching, the preseason is going to be more important for them than it's probably going to be for a lot of the players, right? Of just kind of getting, your adjustments in. I mean, look at him, look at the Jaguars, with Urban Meyer. I mean, the Browns were running no one out there, right? And just did, at will. With what they wanted to, against Jacksonville. But I'll give you another perfect example, and they're friends, and they, came from the same, coaching tree. Look at Matt LaFleur, right? Like in the Packers, like when he first took over in terms of preseason, it was very, very similar, right? I mean, it really was. Like, it takes a little bit of time, and also they both come from Mike Vrabel in the sense of they just don't care that much about preseason. They're kind of working on their own thing, so. Yeah, there's a little bit of discombobulation, but if I were a fan, I wouldn't be too terribly concerned because if there's anything in the world that Arthur Smith is, it is organized and it is ready to go. I would not be concerned about that whatsoever.
Yeah. Allan Bell Jr. with us here talking some NFL off of this weekend. I am a big Tim Tebow fan. Did he survive the first round of cuts? When is the cuts when they got to take 5 guys off? Don't they have to be down to 85 today or something like that?
Tomorrow at 4 Eastern.
I don't know that Tim Tebow can survive that. I don't even know if he just looked out of sorts out there. Stumbling around a couple of times. I know he's great in the locker room. I'd rather see him as an assistant coach than as a player. But watching him on the field, it just seemed like he was, I think he's got to be one of the first guys released, I would think.
Here's the interesting part. I mean, he's not a tight end. Like, that's the first. Look, this is nothing against Tim. Tim is one of the greatest human beings off the field that there can be, and he's had a heck of a career. But tight ends, I mean, he's what, 6'2", 6'3"? He's big, he's jacked. But, dude, tight ends are large human beings, and he just doesn't fit that mold. If it's, kind of an H-back type thing, yeah, that works, but how many plays are they going to run an H-back, in an Urban Meyer, spread offense with Trevor Lawrence, right? Like, I just don't know where he fits on the field, and it's one thing when you have unlimited roster sizes now. It's another thing, like you said, when you got to cut 5 by tomorrow, but then the next 2 cuts is much bigger, right? And those positions all the way to 53 are very valuable. The one thing that I'll say is that there's a lot of leeway with the COVID situation in terms of stashing guys away on, practice squads and different things like that. But I don't know if you could do that with Tim Tebow because he's such a large presence. I'm with you. I'm fascinated to see what Urban Meyer does with it.
Yeah. Do you expect to see some starters this week that we didn't see last week, and then they put it on autopilot for week 3? I mean, would this be the best week of preseason games if you want to see some starters? I know Chicago's saying that Andy Dalton is going to get more than 6 snaps that he had in this game. Cleveland is hosting New York. Their only game Sunday at noon Central Time. Do you think they're at home, their only home game of the preseason? Maybe they play some of their starters. Do you think they'll see some starters this week?
Not many. And here's why. 2 reasons. First one being, I checked with Vegas sportsbooks this morning to see what totals would look like in terms of games, the overs and unders. It's exactly what it was last week. There's not a single game that is over 40 points. So that goes to show you that Vegas doesn't believe that there's going to be much of a difference from week 1. And then 2, I listened to Kyle Shanahan after the 49ers and Chiefs game, and he was asked Like, what is week 2 going to look like? And he said pretty much exactly the same, except, the guys that, are fighting for spots, some of them got more playing time. I'm just going to flip it to the other guys who didn't get as much so that they can kind of even that out. He was like, pretty much going to look exactly what you just saw.
All right. Appreciate you as always. Tremendous stuff. Allan Bell Jr. joining us. In the past, he's joined us on Mondays. I'd like to make it a Mondays thing, AB. If we can fit that in and work it out, it'd be great to be able to talk Mondays with you now throughout the season.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Big Guy.
By the way, Grizz, right now, Jimmy Garoppolo is just short of enough attempts. You got 1,500 attempts to be listed as the all-time career leaders. He will get there this season, assuming that he's the starting quarterback. He will get there this season. When he reaches the number of attempts necessary to be listed, let me tell you where he'll sit in the passer rating, which takes into account everything, right? Touchdowns, interceptions, yards per attempt, all of that stuff. It's just kind of the overall snapshot of a quarterback. He will be 5th in career passer rating. He'll fit in between Russell Wilson, who is 4th, and Drew Brees, who is 5th right now. That's where he's going to be, ahead of Drew Brees and behind Russell Wilson as 4th in all-time passer rating. He'll be ahead of Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Montana, Kurt Warner. I'm not saying he's that guy. Ryan Tannehill's passer rating is 92. Jimmy Garoppolo's passer rating is 99. 99. I don't understand, other than the fact, and it's a significant fact, dude can't stay healthy. All right, so that's a thing. Right? Staying healthy is a major thing. But when he's healthy, he started 16 games in 2019. His passer rating was 102. 102. And took his team to the Super Bowl. I don't know what you're looking for. Here's the problem. That's the only season in his entire career when he ever started every game. Right?
Yeah.
That's a problem. Hurt in 2018.
Yeah.
Hurt in 2017. Hell, he took over for the Patriots when Tom Brady was hurt, and he got hurt after a couple of starts that year. In 2016, hurt last year after 6 games. That's the deal. So the problem isn't Garoppolo the quarterback. The problem is Garoppolo, the athlete, staying healthy.
Yeah, and I don't think I see him even getting traded or moved. He's not going to go to Denver. I mean, and I don't know if Denver is really going to want to, bring him over and really deal with that, because I mean they got 3 starting quarterbacks that even I don't believe in Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater over there in Denver. But
you don't like Teddy?
Not a big fan of him.
Really?
I just don't think he can command an offense very well. I think his decision making, I think he's a little slow on his decision making, and I just think that if you can't beat out Drew Lock, like I don't know, like who's going to be the starter? Like who's going to be the starter over in Denver, because they played their starters in that whole first half. So when you're
two guys, yeah.
So if you're looking at a quarterback, and you may need a quarterback to win right now, Jimmy Garoppolo seems like the best fit. But do you go with him with injuries? It's kind of like over in Philly. Do you go with Deshaun Watson? Do you go with that trade, even though you looked how you saw how bad Jalen Hurts kind of looked? So we'll see in second game. We'll see second game. I know it was the first game, but who knows?
I don't hate Teddy. I don't hate Teddy. He was 5-0 when he filled in for Drew Brees with a decent Saints team. Everybody said, if they can go 3-2 during that stretch, it'd be great. He went 5-0. He did all he could do, I think, with a bad Carolina team. Obviously, they get Sam Darnold and decide to go in that direction. We'll see how that all works out. I don't hate Teddy. I think Teddy's a smart kid. Brutal injury. Remember, he was very good for the Vikings his rookie year. I mean, he was having one hell of a year for the Vikings. And Drew Lock has a lot of skills. I liked Drew Lock when he was at Missouri.
Oh, I was high on him. I think I really did like him coming out of Missouri, but then I bought into the hype, and
I think they got 2
I don't know,
middle of the road quarterbacks. I think what they've got in Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater is 2 guys that are like in that 20 to 25 ranked quarterback in the NFL. They're starters, but they're not necessarily guys that are taking you anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not that top guy. Everybody's looking for that top guy. They're not that top guy. It'll be interesting. All right, when we come back, hype over first-round quarterbacks. There's been 60 of them before this class. We'll take a trip down memory lane next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Simple Green is perfect for making your auto, RV, cycling, boating, and other sporting equipment look like new. Visit them at simplegreen.com.
The Braves with a one-game lead in the NL East after a 6-5 win over the Nationals Sunday. They are at the Marlins starting tonight. Atlanta minus 155 money line. Marlins plus 135 over under 8.5. The start of the college football season less than 3 weeks away. Opening odds for the Heisman Trophy for 2021 have Oklahoma quarterback Spencer Rattler as the odds-on favorite plus 550. Georgia quarterback JT Daniels plus 700 and Alabama quarterback Bryce Young at plus 1,000. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has the best odds to be the 2021 NFL passing leader at plus 325 with Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott at plus 400 and Bucs QB Tom Brady at plus 600.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ahoy! Ahoy! Yoo-hoo! Ahoy! 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 Ahoy there! Ahoy! 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 Ahoy!
In the name of the great Neptune, ahoy!
The tides can turn quick on the water. Progressive's boat insurance has you covered with basic plans starting at $100 a year. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Annual premium for a basic liability policy not available in all states. Prices vary based on how you...
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant Bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right, even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
McCurry Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, McCurry Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms, otherwise a cloudy sky. High temperatures will top out in the mid-80s for the afternoon. And for your Monday night, expect a few isolated showers to persist, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
We still call them two beards and a beard? I mean, I know one of them is gone, but still there's two beards and a beard, aren't they? Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. This segment brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. All your service needs are at Woody Anderson Ford. No matter what kind of vehicle you have, no matter whether you bought your vehicle at Woody Anderson Ford or not, Woody Anderson Ford is there to take care of you. Make your appointment today at Woody Anderson Ford in their service department. And don't forget the pre-owned rigs as well. I drive one. Bought a 2019 F-150. Used it to drag the Bassmaster Radio Phoenix bass boat down to the lake on Saturday morning. Grizz, what were you doing Saturday morning? I should have called you.
Really nothing. I think I cut the grass. That's about it.
I'm talking about like dark 30.
Oh.
I thought my son...
Awake, actually. I was up and about.
Yeah, well, aren't we all? I thought one of my sons was going to go with me.
Yeah. So he didn't call me?
Then he bailed, and I thought, I wonder if I would have called Grizz.
I would have drove. I would have
made the trip. I would have taken an hour, and I would have met you in the middle at Gunnersville. I mean, at Gunnersville takes me about 50 minutes to get to Goose Pond. Probably takes you about the same, right?
Yeah, about 35, 40 minutes, maybe.
Okay, so a little closer. Yeah, and and maybe that would have been the option. Do you have any gear?
No, actually, not anymore.
Plenty.
No, not anymore.
No?
Nah. Well, I got a couple. I got a couple of rods. Nothing crazy. But I don't really have any gear anymore either. Like lures and everything. Like I just got back into it again. So yeah.
And now it's time
I do have
for
two
today's
fishing rods,
Dog Law. Words for every red-blooded American to live by. As presented by the Big Dog.
Every man ought to have at least 2 fishing poles and a tackle box.
I've got 2 fishing rods.
That was today's Dog Law. You'll thank us later.
Sir, yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think that's critical. I think that's critical. I think a man. I think you got to have a tackle box, and you got to have a couple of rods. Now you say you have a couple of rods.
Now I do have an old tackle box up in like my parents' attic, but I haven't taken it out in a while. Like I've had it since probably 10 or 11, and then I've got 2 fishing rods at the house. But other than that, I don't really have much as gear.
Spinning outfits or baitcasters?
Actually, just like just a regular rod.
Open bail spinning?
Spinning?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things. With the big metal top on it. I look like a little kid out there.
Oh, you're talking about a spin cast?
Yeah, spin
like
cast.
a Zebco 3?
Yeah, baby.
Have you ever cast a
I've used bait casters. Yeah.
Open bail? All right, I got to hook you up. I'll get you. I'm embarrassed to say I'm
really good at getting my rat nests out, if you know what I mean.
Well, if you got the right kind of reel and you have it set up right, you shouldn't be backlashing.
I don't think my dad
professional overrun is what you call that.
Right.
It's a professional overrun.
My dad loved to fish, but I don't know if he was a professional, that's for sure. Because I probably ruined a couple of rods.
I gotta hook you up. I will hook you up with some decent gear. If you're interested in getting into
I'm always interested in getting back into it. There's always times where I get off work and I'm like, I'll just go down the river. Or why don't I just go down to, Ditto or do something, you know what I mean? Or whatever.
I don't know how many rods I have. I'm going to be honest.
I saw at least 30 in your boat when we went out last time. There's at least 30 ready to go.
I'd say if there's 30 in the boat, I'd say I probably got
At least 30.
40. Well, at least 30, but probably close to 40 total. Yeah, I was carrying probably 30 in the boat. And then you saw the tackle in the middle of the middle of the boat, right? I mean, the one of the tackle compartments just jammed with boxes and stuff in there. But I have sponsors. I don't buy hardly any tackle. I'll get you hooked up. I got to get you hooked up right and so that you can. And the way to go is a tackle bag with the 3,700 size boxes where you can then put your gear. I love.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I love futzing with my gear. I'm always I'm very much an organizational freak, so I'm always like organizing my gear and making sure that the hooks are right, and I have everything really, really well organized. But again, I mean, Rapala, I have Missile Baits, I have Enigma Fishing. I have several sponsors through Bassmaster Radio that send me gear. So in fact, Humminbird is sending me a 360 to put on my trolling motor. I mean, that is. Oh, look at now. Let's see who this is from. Unsigned. I have 68 bait casters and 20 plus spinning rods. Wow,
fancy.
I wonder who that is. I don't even know it's unsigned. So somebody just said 68 bait casters and 20 plus spinning rods.
What's the number? I'm just kidding.
That's good, man. That's a lot. Oh, Shane Sean.
Oh,
I don't have. So Shane Sean. See that you guys got to sign them because when they come through the text window, they don't necessarily show up. 68 bait casters and 20 spinning rods. I have about 6 or 8 spinning rods. I don't use them very often. I'm not a huge fan. And all the rest are bait casters. I probably got 30 bait casters, 35 bait casters, and then 8 or 10. 7 or 8.
What do you call them? What are the ones with the
spinning rod? The open bell is a spinning rod.
I hate those things. I can't. I never understand how to.
And then a bait caster is a bait caster, And then what you're using is a Zebco 33.
Got that Zebco, baby. Got that Zebco from Walmart, probably.
Maybe. So anyway, I ended up
good fish off of it.
So I ended up going out alone. I actually posted a little video.
I liked it and watched it. Yeah. Inspirational.
Yeah,
very inspirational.
Little video going out. I didn't realize what a bum I looked like, unshaven and everything. But who shaves to go fishing, right? But I went out, and I forgot how much I enjoy. I never go out alone anymore, and I forgot how much I actually enjoyed just being out on the water by myself. And there was no. I always feel pressure to put people on fish, or to catch fish.
Yeah.
And so what I was doing was I did a lot of experimenting. I did some re-rigging. I did some experimenting. And my wife, she was actually working over. She has some friends that have Airbnb houses on the lake.
Yeah,
and she gets paid an ungodly amount to clean these Airbnbs in between. She gets like $150 a piece. She does like 6 or 8 of these a week for $150 a week each of these Airbnbs. She runs around and cleans these people's Airbnbs. Anyway. So she was working on one on the lake, and she had my youngest son with her who was helping her out. And so I went on the lake and fished in front of the house that she was cleaning in. And
wow.
Came down and waved at me. I didn't catch anything there. But my biggest concern was it's creating a little bit of a problem for me, Grizz. I took my best Iron Man reading glasses out with me because I knew I was gonna do some re-rigging and tying on some stuff. I just wanted to go out there and float on the water and kind of like tie off some stuff and re-rig some stuff and everything. So I took my best Iron Man glasses with me out there. I should have just taken one of my 15 crap pairs, but I took my best ones out there with me and I put them in the cup holder next to me in the boat. So I'm running down the lake in the morning, and it was dead still. And I looked down at the speedometer, and I didn't realize I was running like 66 miles an hour down the lake. Usually
coasting.
54, 58. I don't push it. I don't try to push it.
Oh, yeah, no. I hate when people push it, and I'm sorry. There was one time I felt like I needed to grab the railing when you and I were on the water.
Yeah.
Because we went a little too fast.
Yeah.
And it rocked a little bit, and I hate that feeling, but I'm not one of those ones where like I'm Joe Hunk and I'm just like holding on the entire time and I'm just thinking, God, that I finally get there,
I was like on plane at 40 and Joe was terrified. Joe was scared for his life.
I am not afraid of that by any means of going fast. But when you start rocking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it stayed in the water. Anyway.
Yeah, if it didn't flip.
Sometimes I run on the drain hole, and that's it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm running on the drain plug. Had nothing in the water but the drain plug and the bottom of the prop. But all of a sudden, I look down at my thing, and I'm going 65, and I'm like, whoa, damn. And maybe it was because I was by myself. I don't know. But it was dead still. Anyway, my good glasses blew out of the boat, Grizz. That's the moral of the story.
Oh.
My Ironman glasses blew out of the boat. And so I've been forced to wear backup glasses, and they keep sliding down my nose, and it's aggravating the hell out of me. I actually bought a pair of glasses. Yeah, I bought a pair of glasses over the weekend at the Walmart, and they are not good. They slide down my nose. So I got to find where I got these Ironman. I got to get another pair.
You got scuba dive.
They're not
Ironman. You should be able to find Ironman. Isn't Ironman?
It's just a brand.
No. I know, but you can find Ironman. I'm pretty sure at like CVS or Walgreens.
That's where I had gotten it. Walgreens.
Yeah,
maybe?
check that again then.
I got to go
You
by
might be able
to
to
Walgreens.
find them there.
That's what I'm gonna have
and
to do.
Target. I think they're at Target.
The Foster Grants were no good. We got no Target anywhere near me.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure.
You live in the boonies.
All right, Grizz, are you ready?
Yeah.
I mean, because everybody's losing their minds, right?
What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Fields, Mac, Zach, Mac, Trevor.
Crown them.
Crown them
if you want to.
Put them in a Paxton Lynch. First round draft pick. You remember?
Yeah. Trevor Siemian. Remember that name?
You got beat out by Trevor Siemian.
They thought he was going to be good too.
Paxton Lynch. Last time we saw him, he was cut by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2020. Paxton Lynch. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's one. Number 1 overall, of course, Jamarcus Russell.
Yeah. Oh, man.
7-18 as a starter. He ate himself out of the league. Let me tell you something. I stood on a sideline 3 times and watched Jamarcus Russell when he was at LSU.
Yeah.
I'm usually pretty good on picking them out.
Yeah.
I stood on the sidelines 3 times and saw Jamarcus Russell up close and personal play in college. I thought that Jamarcus Russell was going to be unstoppable. I thought he was the absolute shizzle. I really did. I really thought Jamarcus Russell was unlike anything I would ever see, ever.
Yeah.
Do you know who was picked after Jamarcus Russell?
I can't
The next 2 picks?
I can't remember.
Kelvin Johnson and Joe Thomas. Kelvin Johnson just was inducted into the Hall of Fame, and Joe Thomas has, I think, 2 years left before he is going to be a first-time inductee into the Hall of Fame. Jamarcus Russell, and then Kelvin Johnson, and then Joe Thomas. Speaking of Joe Thomas, how about number 22 pick in the 2007 draft for the Cleveland Browns, Brady Quinn?
Ugh.
First rounder, Brady Quinn. Yeah, but everybody was like, Brady freaking Quinn.
Yeah, I will raise my hand. I was a kid thinking Brady. I mean, I was in high school thinking Brady Quinn was going to be like a world beater. And, yeah, he was not any of that at all.
Here's a guy I liked and did shows with. He actually did a year worth of Titan shows with me. Jake Locker.
Yeah.
Number 8 pick in the 2011 draft.
I literally was about to say his name. That was like one of the first quarterbacks that came in my head when you were about to say that. Like, yeah, I literally thought maybe Jake Locker might have actually been something, and it's that Washington hype or something, man.
He's in a tree stand in Washington right now, deer hunting probably.
Or cutting trees down, who knows?
Jake friggin' Locker. I did a show. It was Jake Locker who did the show. It was called Offense Defense, and it was me with Jake Locker and Dan McCarthy, the middle linebacker. They were captains. They were both captains. They both washed out. McCarthy had concussion issues. Needless to say, do I got to say Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel. Okay, Josh Rosen. I mentioned him. He's standing on the side. Dwayne Haskins. Now, I think Dwayne Haskins is got a shot. His second week in a row.
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins looked like an NFL quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's in the right organization with the right head coach.
Yeah.
I actually think Dwayne Haskins' career is not over.
You couldn't say Cardell Jones, could you? I don't think he was really like a
But he wasn't a first. I'm talking about
first rounds.
busts.
Okay.
I'm talking about guys that were first round.
I thought you just meant like
picks.
quarterbacks that were like hyped out. Or
No,
something.
no. I'm talking about these are guys. Remember, people lost their minds over when they were drafted in the
exactly.
first round. Of course, Tim Tebow was a first rounder. Tim Tebow, I love Tim Tebow. I don't know how Urban Meyer can keep Tim Tebow on the 85. He's on the 90 right now. I don't know that Tim Tebow, you can keep him on the 85. Tim Tebow has to be released. You got to ask him if he wants a coach. Tim Tebow can't play football anymore.
No, he doesn't look normal when he runs down the field. Like, I get it because he's like gigantic, but even as like a tight end, he just doesn't look natural out there. Did
you see him try to block on that one? Although he did get a little chip on the guy, and it was a good running play.
That looked like a fullback or like a running back trying to hit somebody or something, like just trying to like
a running
pop
back
him.
can block. He tried to block on it. It was a tight end move.
So
he was in there at H-back, and he was on a little
he spun off of him
orbit motion, and he just kind of whiffed and fell down. He looked unathletic. Is what was scared me. He looks unathletic.
I think he did run his route right. I want to say
when the guy cut in front of him.
Yeah, when Tavon Austin. Yeah, it was Tavon Austin that cut out in front of him. I want to say that he literally I think he actually ran the route right. I think he just cut in front of him.
Oh no, he ran the route right. There was no doubt. It was number 16 pick in the first round. 16th pick in the first round of the 2013 NFL draft. E.J. Manuel.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. No, I do.
E.J. Manuel. Here's Cleveland again doing it. Number 22 pick in the 2012 draft. Brandon Weeden out of Oklahoma State.
Yeah, and I never understood that.
Brandon Weeden. Brandon Weeden.
Best one of all. Sam Bradford.
Well, yeah, Sam Bradford. Well, Sam Bradford had a minute. I almost think that Sam Bradford was more. I'll tell you who's this. Here's the dog. Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner, Matt Leinart.
Yeah.
By Arizona, number 10. What is it about Arizona botching on the 10th overall pick in the first round? Matt Leinart set the organization back. He was 37-2 at USC. He went to Arizona, and he was Kurt Warner's backup there, basically, and ended up 8-10 as a starter. Christian Ponder was a first rounder. We mentioned him last week.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I totally forgot he was a first rounder.
Ugh. How about here's one that what's his name will love? Kramer. 2004, 22nd pick in the first round, 2004 for the Buffalo Bills, J.P. Losman. Do you remember J.P. Losman?
Yes, I do. Oh,
it was 10-23. He couldn't beat out Kelly Holcomb.
That's awful. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Patrick Ramsey.
He's going to come after you. Watch.
There's another one. Patrick Ramsey out of Tulane. Ugh. First rounder. Blaine Gabbert. Still playing, by the way. Backing
got
up.
A championship.
He got a Super Bowl ring. Blaine Gabbert. Kyle Bowler. He was a first rounder. Of course, David Carr, the handsome David Carr.
Ugh. I never understood the love of David
Number
Carr.
1 overall pick.
Yeah, I know. They buy into this college hype, man. It's
Wolverine Dan, cover your ears. 2002, third pick in the first round. Third pick in the first round. Joey Harrington. Gosh, I got Joey Harrington. Oh my God, we're gonna be great.
Yes.
You understand? Josh Freeman.
Yeah.
I'll just run down some other fast ones.
I actually was about to say that, but I couldn't remember if he was a first rounder or not.
RG3, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
RG3. And then look what happened.
Andrew Luck.
Well, Andrew Luck was great.
Yeah, but
Andrew Luck was fantastic.
But I mean,
Andrew Luck decided he didn't want to play anymore.
I know, but he just couldn't stay healthy, though.
Well, no, he only had that one injury. He had one bad injury. Andrew Luck could have continued playing.
I feel like it really hampered him though a little bit.
Andrew Luck was fantastic. He just quit. He just decided he didn't want to play anymore.
He quit. He quit. By the way, he quit.
He quit. He did. He just decided
he did
to quit. Blake Bortles.
Yeah. Yep.
Are we closing the book on Mitch Trubisky, or do we think that maybe somewhere down the road he can have a
new scenery, man? Stop giving that man such crap.
Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
Rex Grossman was a first rounder. Is Marcus Mariota a dog? He had some good times. He thrown for 13,000 yards in his career, but he's 500 quarterback, 29-32.
Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston, I think the book is open on him still.
Really?
A
Have you
little bit.
seen him in practice?
Well, no.
He
I mean,
looks
let's see what he
absolutely
looks like.
awful. Like, he just does not look like he's not. I mean, I get he's a
Yeah,
quarterback.
but he's been better than like Vince Young. You know?
Well, yeah.
Who was the third pick overall? Jameis was number 1 overall. Jameis Winston. He's 28 and 42 as a starter. Jameis. So he's thrown for almost 20,000 yards.
Yeah.
121 touchdowns and 88 thing. I mean, these other guys are worse than that. Let me just see if there's anybody else I want to mention on the list. You mentioned Bradford. Mark Sanchez. Sanchez was the number 5 pick overall in the first round. Now, he did go to 2. He went to 2, what do you call it, AFC Championship games.
Yeah. So,
Chad Pennington was a first-rounder. He had a nice little run for a minute.
So does Cam's 1 MVP keep him from being, like, not worth that first overall pick?
I think that Cam has been more than 1 MVP.
Okay.
In fact, I'll tell you what, the list right now, the list of first-round quarterbacks picked since 2000.
Yeah.
Okay? This is from Sporting News. This is how they rank them. These are the top 10 first-rounders, quarterbacks. Not best quarterback, but the first round. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Lamar Jackson, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, 7. Eli Manning, 8. Michael Vick, 9. And Matthew Stafford, 10. Now, I'm gonna take exception here on 1. Cam Newton over Eli Manning. Cam Newton, 32,000 yards passing, 190 touchdowns, and 118 interceptions, 75 and 63 as a starter. Eli Manning, 57,000 yards, 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions, 2 Super Bowl championships over the Patriots, and but 117 and 117. You want to talk about a 500 quarterback? Would you take Eli Manning over Cam Newton? Cam Newton over Eli Manning? They've got Cam Newton rated ahead of Eli Manning. I think Eli Manning, I think is going to go to the Hall of Fame. I don't think he belongs, but Eli Manning's going to end up in the Hall of Fame. Cam Newton's not going to end up in the Hall of Fame. All right, let me get a break in here and wrap this up. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Everybody knows the fun begins when you get to the end zone, where you can enjoy half-price apps every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, half-price burgers every Tuesday, plus late-night pizza specials and a spectacular menu that includes jumbo wings, half-pound burgers, Tex-Mex, and an incredible selection of craft beer, and plenty of big-screen TVs. It's all happening at the end zone, 1851 University Drive, 2030 Cecil Ashburn at Jones Valley Station, and coming in early 2022, Mid-City End Zone at 1115 McMurtry next to the Target Shopping Center.
Benito's line cook just threw in his kitchen towel.
This order needs to go out right now.
He needs to find help before his customers are left waiting.
So sorry. We'll be right with you. Who's got table 6?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
From the WZDX Pinpoint Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect scattered showers and thunderstorms, otherwise a cloudy sky. High temperatures will top out in the mid-80s for the afternoon. And for your Monday night, expect a few isolated showers to persist, otherwise a mostly cloudy sky. Low temperatures will fall into the lower 70s. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. From today's headlines to the guests you want to hear from.
Who wants to party?
Listen in and join in. Weekday afternoons starting at 5. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
People stay just a little bit longer. We want to play just a little bit longer. The promoter don't mind.
Yeah, we wish we could stay just a little bit longer. Welcome back. Wrapping up today's show. By the way, the Rocket City Trash Panda is back in the building tomorrow at Toyota Field. I'm a little nervous about the weather this week, Grizz. I'm seeing a lot of rain in the forecast this week, but hopefully Trash Pandas will be able to get those games in. Of course, tomorrow night is Ladies' Night, and Wednesday night is Bring Your Dog to the Stadium night. So I'm a little bit nervous, though, about this weather. You know, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm glad I got my lawn cut because, yeah, it's going to look like it's going to be like that for a good bit. And, you know, it just seems like they've always had it on a Wednesday night. It's always rain on a Wednesday night for some reason. It happens to be on dog night. So if you think about bringing your dog, it may rain and it may get dirty. So, you know, think carefully.
That's going to do it for us. Coming up next, it's our good friend Chuck Oliver, followed by Paul Feinbaum. And then the drive. No Wes this week. Wes is on vacation this week. So filling in for Wes will be Drew DeArmond, along with Steve Moulton. And you're going to get a steady stream of Braves baseball as well. It's all right here in your home, not only for the Braves, but for the Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll get Tide and Tigers reports tomorrow from practice as well. This is 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.